Well, I'm gonna do a couple more rounds of. I'm gonna do Battle Royale and World Boss, and what I've done with Clara. You can see her. This is not her true might. Her true might is closer to about 160k. What I did is that I borrowed the equipment that I took from. The equipment you see on her is Sumia's equipment. So because Clara, her stuff, I don't have anything yellow or red for her yet. So her best item right now is her shirt. If you want to, I don't know what you call that dress. So you can see here, there's a significant difference in terms of strength. So once I get her stuff up to yellow, then I'll start having her use her own equipment so that she gets the benefits of the exclusive effects. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and take her in to. We'll start with. Let's do Battle Royale first. I only have a couple tries to consume. And I don't know. By the way, I don't have any funny videos or any funny audio to play in the background, so I'm just going to kind of riff. We have. What I've noticed, some people will, on Sunday, which is what today is, some people won't necessarily spend all their entries so that they can start off Monday with a bang, having all of their entries. But I've never been this high before in the rankings, so I want to see if I can get myself up to. I don't know, can I get to one? I might be able to get to number one. We'll see. I'm having a hard time doing the math in my head. So let's just go and get started. We're going to run with Clara. I do not recall what the element is for today's Battle Royale. We're about to find out. It does follow a cycle. So once you know what yesterday's element was, then you know what today's is. And let me pull that up. I don't have it memorized, but I happen to have a file saved that has that information, so I can just pull that up and take a look here. So that would be, yeah, my screenshot. So it always goes in the order of water, then fire, then wind, then light, and then dark. So based on what we see tonight, we will know what tomorrow will be. These Chinese player names, I really don't recognize, partially because I don't know the language. So I can't pronounce them, and I wouldn't be able to tell you what those characters are without running it through Google Translate. Okay, so we are, so we're water today, which means tomorrow the boss element will be fire. Now, in theory, I would be doing better damage if I ran with Sumia rather than Clara, because Sumia ought to shine in this fight. However, Clara is just ridiculously overpowered. So I think that, I might do one just for the sake of comparison. We'll all give Sumia her equipment back. Don't pick me. Ah! I got picked. Alright, now, I was saying in a previous video that I like playing the quadruped bosses. And the reason why is that the button that is the one in the upper right-hand corner, or I guess the one above the red. Let's put it that way, because it's actually lower right corner, but that one is pretty effective, because what that does is that causes the monster to go sideways, and it's going to interrupt the other players. The other two skills that you see me fire off right now, yeah, I don't like them that much, but basically I do a combination of dash to the side, fire off the 15-second skill when it becomes available, and otherwise I could get away with spamming that sideways skill that you see me doing right now. We can also try retargeting. We can see we got a Remo kind of trying to kite me. And I don't know that I can get over there and get him. Try and change target. This is the part that I don't like about one of the many things I don't like about the boss is it's hard to, I know where the Remo is hanging out and I can't get to him. Okay, so my damage output was kind of bad because I spent so much time as the Lord. That tends to steal your opportunity to do damage. So I'm going to, just for sake of comparison, I'm going to switch over and go back to Samia. Because again, her element is wind. Wind does best against water. So let's try that. Okay, so I'm number 2. So yeah, if I win this, I think I still have to do 2 more to get back up to number 1, which I've never been in the number 1 spot before in Battle Royale after a week goes by. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back into Clara. We're going to give her her old equipment back so I can give the good stuff back to Samia. And we're going to watch her might just drop like a stone. Yeah, this stuff could be higher. I just don't have enough gold to work on it. Oh, and the weapon. And I'm going to invest in her weapon once I get the blue pieces and I bring it up to purple. Then I'll start investing. Okay, now we go to Samia, and we're going to get her back into the number 1 ranking. Okay, so equip that. So just take a moment here, and then we'll get that taken care of. And her jacket. Okay, so now she's got all of her buffs back and stuff. By the way, do I need to give her any skills? No, she's not ready to learn anything yet. And I think her... Yeah, I got her some of the wind stuff. You can see I need to get my missing red pieces, but she's coming along. And let's go ahead and let's run a Battle Royale as Samia now. I don't know which fairy to use. I'll just go ahead and use Boony Boo. I don't know. So the 2 wind fairies that I have at 6-star, Boony Boo is the one who she gives like a temporary boost to, I think it's movement speed and attack speed. The other one that I have at 6-star is, I think it's Yuna. And that one just has a one-time damage burst. So she does so many points of damage. So she'd be like the wind equivalent of an island, maybe. I have to go back and look at the stats again. So I'll be the first to admit I'm actually not a very good player. So I'm still learning. So stuff like strategy and stuff. I mean, if you see me doing stuff, feel free to call me out on it because I like to learn. Oh, shit. I'm the Lord. Okay. Try to kill me quickly, please. Please kill me so I can be the hunter. Let's see, do we have any ranged heroes that I'm fighting against? It looks like everybody I'm fighting are melee. So I'm seeing looks like I'm seeing a Catherine. I'm seeing, oh, what else? It's kind of hard for me anyway to play and watch the screen at the same time to see who all I'm fighting. I recognize Xcaster X. He is an active player. The other 2 I do not recognize. And Xcaster X is a pretty good player. Knows what he's doing. Come on, guys. Hurry up and kill me. I got like 50 seconds left. And I still have 50% of my health, so my damage output is suffering. Man, come on, guys. Yeah, my ranking's going to suffer as a result. If I don't get that number 1 spot in this fight, I get fewer points, if I recall. Man. caster's about to go down. 10 seconds. Damn it. Yeah, so you only got 88 points, so rat farts. Feels like it was a wasted run. So I wasn't able to do damage, so I wasn't able to compare. It wasn't a good comparison between Clara and Samira. Yep, I have to do one more. All right, let's see what we got going on here. And I'm trying to remember. Is Xcaster X, is he in Synaptic or is he in Omega? I keep forgetting. I'm going to pull up the Discord channel, and that'll tell me the story. Okay, what do we got here? Fanti. Okay. Active player. He is a high-ranking member in one of the strongest Chinese-based guilds on the server. In fact, he's the one that he also owns us. He also owns Samia, and he's been chasing me in terms of ranking. Oh, this guy's running all over the place. Yeah, I think Clara would have been better for this battle. You notice this guy's just running all over the place, so I'm having to play catch up, to get myself in range. So Samia, she her range in terms of her skills, I cannot have her at one end of the field when the monster's at the other end, so she doesn't have as good a range as, say, Remo does. So you got to do a little bit of running around for her. She does have a nice... One thing that she does that is helpful is this 3 blue, 1 orange that I just fired off. Well, if the guy didn't dash out of it. Oops, I'm not doing too well here. I gotta get back in range. I gotta stop messing around here. Yeah, and I'm getting interrupted here. Okay. I might hang back for a minute just because I don't want to land the killing blow and end up being the boss. Oh, and I got it anyway. God. Let's see if I can keep the damage spot or not. And who has... Oh, come on. These guys are spread out all over the place, too. I really need to retarget. I need to make Fanti the target, but I can't seem to select him. What is that? Darn it. Let's try retarget. So you just hit that. Oh my gosh. 98. Let's see how I did. All right, well, I barely made it, but of course there's still a couple hours left before the rankings reset, so who knows? Cortex might pass me up. Okay, let's go do... I'm going to go ahead and steal my equipment back from Samia. And now we're going to do World Boss as Clara. Let's go ahead and give her crummy equipment again. Let's see, what else are we going to do here? Sleeves. Just give her whatever. Boots, this and that. All right, let's give the good stuff over to Clara. One day, Clara, you'll get your own red stuff. Millions of gold later, that is. Okay, and that one. Okay, so that takes her back up to 232, which is pretty respectable. By the way, how does she rank? So, of course, it won't update the rankings. Oh, I guess it did. All right. Okay, yeah, that puts her. If that was actually her own stuff, that would be really good for her. Okay, let's go ahead and do World Boss, and because I think that I have not done my 5 yet, or 4. Sorry, I can't count. Okay, I have not, and let's go ahead. We're gonna run a. We'll do 2 fire characters because our boss is a wind. And I'll just I don't have a 4-star or higher fire fairy yet. Let's put Catherine in the spare slot over here. And who do I want to put in the pocket? Let's see. How about, you know what? I haven't played with Rosa in a while. Let's put her in there. Okay, let's go. I really like Rosa. It's just a matter of gold. I don't have enough gold to work on all the characters I like simultaneously, so you have to kind of do one at a time in this game because it gets to really gear up. It's quite expensive in terms of the in-game currency that you're spending to get your stuff leveled up. I haven't run the numbers myself, but our guild leader tells me that it's roughly you can earn roughly 1 million gold a day if you do all your stuff, and it takes to convert a yellow piece of equipment into to upgrade it to red. It takes, I want to say, what is it, 2.25 million or something like that. And to get to that point, you gotta, work your way up. Purple's to yellow, yellow to red, and you gotta do that for every slot. So, I haven't run the numbers to see what it would take to get Clara to top tier equipment, because that's gonna take, it's gonna take me weeks to get there. But at least it's a goal. Gotta have goals. Bye, Clara. All right. So here's Rosa. And in one of my first videos, I mentioned that Clara and Rosa have very different animation timelines. So Rosa's skills take longer to animate, but there's multiple hits that she's doing. You can see the numbers fly up. That is to say, if you don't, use the dash skill and interrupt it. Okay, so she was able to survive the round. Okay. 0.6, all right. Ah. This has been happening a lot ever since this update hit a couple days ago. The Android health checker thing came up and told me, I think after the 10th crash, it said, hey, you've got a problem with this app. I'm like, no shit. Now, normally when it crashes, it's crashing because it's running as a background app. Like I'm in Firefox or I'm doing something else. I'm in email, and then I get this. That's when I'll get the pop up saying that Dawnbreak crashed. This is the first time that it's crashed while I've been actively playing it since the last update. So that was kind of unusual. Let me pause this recording. Okay, we're back in the game. I've got more energy to collect, which is a good thing. And what am I up to? I'll get 280 experience points. Okay, let's get back in there. Oh, let me get my daily. Oh, thought I collected it. Okay. Let's finish off my daily quest. So that's my number 15. All right, 500 bonus experience. And yet another summon ticket. Okay, I'll take that. I actually need that shard. And that one. Alright, let's get back into the challenge here. Okay, yeah, and I did see X Cortex is in fact in Omega. And let's check my email. At least I can multitask. I just noticed that skill laid down the field behind the guy. So I might not have landed. I'd have to go back and watch the video again to see if I actually landed that hit or not. Okay, need that healing. You know, as a matter of habit, I tend to sometimes, when as soon as the battle starts, I'll fire off my ultimate, and I should probably not do that for Clara because I could really use that ultimate right about now. Because yeah, if I had saved it, I could have maybe gotten some additional, a little bit of healing to extend my time. It's just kind of an automatic. The battle starts, I see the icon is lit up, and I just tap it. Like, oh, dumbass. Come on. Fire it off. Alright, 2 more to go. And it's kind of repetitive, I mean, but it's a good idea to do World Boss every day because if you're in the top 50, which is easy to do if you're active, then you get, as a reward, you'll get in your mailbox the next morning, you will get a... I just did it again. You will get a Phelan shard. So, do it every day. After 30 days, you'll have 30 shards accumulated. And I'm trying to remember what the rate is for when you... So I've got Phelan maxed out in terms of, she's 6-star. So basically, Now what I do is I just accumulate the shards, and then you can recycle spare shards on your characters that are already maxed out, and you can spend them on other characters. So that's how I got Clara to 6 stars so quickly, because I was able to rob shards from Phelan, Monica, and Marl. Because those are pretty easy to accumulate shards for. So I will never walk away or turn away free shards. Clara's about to go down. Bye, Clara. Oops. I have not... Honestly, I haven't played Rosa enough to get a sense for her range. She behaves like a melee character, but she does have some range things. Okay, I think we have one more run to go. And then I need to switch over, and I just realized I haven't done any Spacecrack this week. Spacecrack. Pepperidge Farm's distinctive crackers. Okay, don't do the ultimate, Lysorn. So we'll do the fairy, but I'm going to save the ultimate and see if that makes a difference. Yeah, if you're bored and like my videos aren't doing it for you, there's one that I watched today that was pretty good. On YouTube, search for the studio called Red Letter Media, and they do film reviews, and it's hysterical. And they're guys, and they're intelligent guys. It's not something that you want to listen to if there's any kids in the room, little kids, because they do. We're gonna drop some f-bombs and stuff, but the ones that I just love are the when they do the Star Wars movies reviews. So one of the main guys that runs the channel, he plays this character called Mr. Plinkett. And when he does it, it's the funniest thing I've ever heard. He basically role plays this character that's like a psychopath, and but the things he says in his movie reviews about the Star Wars prequels, and then the Star Wars reboots, and then the one-off films. Oh, that's the best round of damage I've had yet. Very insightful. I mean, you could tell this guy is he's studied, and he finds little things, and he just goes through and just methodically deconstructs the film. And you walk away from it like, yeah, that's, he's right. I can't argue with him. So those are good. Now, have I done anything this week? Oh, I did like 2 floors. So I'm going to do something different in Spacecrack. So Spacecrack, it's just like, it behaves like Trial of Emperor, where as you go through the floors, your characters don't regenerate HP from one battle to the next. So you need to worry about your team composition and healing and all that stuff. You heal every day, but I gotta get as far as I can tonight because this thing's gonna reset. And then the rankings will reset to 0 on tomorrow morning. But the strategy I have for Spacecrack is I will run this pretty boy here. And I'm going to put, what's her name? Is it, I can't remember. Lovey, okay. Lovey is his fairy. And then the other characters will be light. So you just run a light team as your main characters. And we'll do this run. We'll put, let's see what we're going to do here. We're going to put Nia here. And I don't know, do I have another one for Gabriel? That one with 4 stars or higher. So I'll keep that one on there. And then over here, I will actually put Clara. Okay, so this pretty boy hero here, I can't remember his name. Andy. King Andy the 7th or whatever. So he has an interesting set of skills that makes him perfectly suited for this type of mission. Especially when you put Lovey on in his fairy. Because Lovey, what her skill is she's going to do a heal over time to the other party members when you fire off her skill. And that extends the number of runs you can do in one day for Spacecrack. And the reason why I'm running a full light team is that Andy, his passive skill is that he will occasionally offer up a shield to other light characters. So that's why I brought in Haley and Gabriel rather than stronger characters, because Haley and Gabriel are not on my team. They're not my strongest. In fact, it's been actually quite some time since I've invested anything into Haley other than just leveling her up. Haven't done her gear in quite some time. Likewise with Gabriel. I don't think either of them have a single piece of red, and Gabriel might even have a couple pieces of purple still. So they're pretty low on the totem pole in terms of my priorities, even though Gabriel is really cool. She's a very interesting hero. She's got some nice passives and so on. So she's one that I think I will invest in eventually. But for right now, my priorities are I need to finish off Sumia and then start really hunkering down on bumping up Clara. The community is expecting that the next hero that will be released will be a water hero. And that one may also be, because we're in season 4 now, and as I mentioned in the previous video, they seem to be, when the new season comes out and you get the new heroes that come out, they pretty much make the old heroes obsolete. Others may disagree with me, and that's perfectly fine. It's how you run your team is a matter of preference and where you choose to invest. So I don't know that there's a right answer, but I'm right. All right, we're going to go ahead and fire off the fairy. Because Gabriel... Yeah, so then you notice that Gabriel's starting to take some damage. So at the beginning of the next battle, I'm going to fire off that fairy skill to immediately get some healing points out to the squad. Okay. And I'm in... So the way Spacecrack works is they have these... You notice by our names, it says first space. You can also see that in the kind of like the bottom left of the screen where it says first space sixth floor. You have to, and there was the, okay, we got 1 hour 40 minutes left in the event before everything resets. You can see that in the upper left hand corner of the screen. The idea is that you have to, I can't remember where you find the instructions, but you have to get up to a certain number of floors and then you will advance to the next space in next week. So if I were to get, I think I have to get to a minimum of, I want to say floor 21. If I get to floor 21 tonight, then tomorrow morning when the event resets, it will put me in second space. And that improves the rewards, as you can see here. So right now I'm in first space, and then if I, get advanced to second space, then next Monday I'll get more diamonds, more costume shards, and then if I again get up to floor 21, then I advance to third space. But it also increases the difficulty of the battles. Right now you're seeing me just blow through this stuff because I'm in first space and it's super easy. I really don't start to struggle until I get into third space, and I start getting into some of the middle floors because then you're going against, as like I said, my squad isn't fully leveled up. Okay, you can see, so there's Gabriel. Let's go ahead and throw some heals her way. So we should see some heal over time numbers pop up for everybody. So in previous testing that I did, I found that this team configuration lets me blow through, just one battle after another. I can do the entire first space of Space Crack, in one session, one playing session. And I seem to recall that I could also do it for second space. I could usually blow through it. Once I get into third space, then I start having to start, go as far as I can in one day, then, continue them on day two or, swap team members out and stuff. I really haven't seen much activity with respect to Space Crack. I don't, normally when I look at the list of players, if I see any more than a dozen people playing it throughout the week, that's normally a surprise. Usually it's like somewhere between 6 to a dozen people, so it's not as popular as some of the other game modes. And really, I think part of it is that the rewards aren't that particularly great from one battle to the next. I mean, it does help with if you play the thing and you advance, you get some costume shards on Monday morning, and I was able to buy some outfits with those shards, and that helps your characters because that gives them 2% bonus to the attack or statistic or whatever. I recently got the Monica swimsuit, and that really helped because that one actually has like 2 or 3 different bonuses on it, and not exactly bad on the eyes either. So it's, in my opinion, it's worth doing, but it is repetitive and like when you see me. So if you take a look at the rewards for this one battle, one equipment upgrade shard, one, what is this white thing? Spirit dust, and then a beginner and an intermediate skill book. No experience points, no gold. So from a time investment standpoint, it doesn't really seem that great, but it's just because I'm a collector and I like to collect the costumes. This is a good way to get costume shards, so I tend to spend the time on it. I'm really hoping now it's late in the year. The time that I'm recording this, what day is it anyway? Today is November 11. So it's by no stretch of the imagination is it summer, and yet they're still releasing summer outfits. So for this month, when the patch came out, no, actually, I think it was before the patch came out. So it was about maybe a week and a half ago. They made the Monica swimsuit outfit available. Kind of an odd play for November. You think by now they'd be pushing either doing Halloween costumes or Christmas stuff. Yeah, you can see here on my screen. There's only 4 people that have done anything in Space Crack this week. You can see that, and what it's showing is that, for example, Link Sally here, who's number 4, it says today, means that if this person last did something on, I think, Tuesday, whereas 6th day, that would be, that's kind of odd though. Why would it say 6 rather than 7? Huh. I hadn't thought about it. Okay, so then the other mechanic to be aware of is that you can see to the left of the number by our name, there is a symbol. A dash, we see by next to my name, a dash means that there's no change in your ranking, meaning you're going to stay where you are. So if I don't do anything, I'm going to, by default, next week, I'll be in first space, starting back on floor 1 again. Then there's another symbol for you're going to be going down a rank because you didn't do enough. So if I get into second space and then I do nothing, there will actually be a red symbol next to my name on Monday saying, Lysart, if you don't do anything, you're gonna fall back from second space to first space in the following Monday. And then there's a third symbol, which would be the green plus sign, which means you're going to go up. And that's a similar mechanic to, there's another game I play that has a similar mechanic where, if you don't do anything, you're going to fall down. And then there's a certain number of actions you can do to keep your ranking. What is that? I don't know how to pronounce that game. It's been a little while since I've been into it. Oh, Honkai Impact the Third. Has that same mechanic where there's a raid you can do where you get the 3 symbols based on your activity. And that one, mainly I'm not playing just because it's a convenience factor, because I can. My previous video I mentioned about how I have space limitations on my tablet. I prefer to play on my tablet because I like having the bigger screen. So I do have Honkai Impact on my smartphone, but the device that I'm playing on right now is a Samsung tablet, and it's just, I don't have space. I mean, each one of these games is going to be at least a gig of space, and I keep having to, uninstall stuff or whatever and pick and choose, which game I'm going to play. Okay, so there's a couple more floors to do. So yeah, I want to say it's floor 21 that I'll go up, and then that's pretty much all I need to do. You can go as high as floor 30, and then it stops, and you can't progress any further until the next weekly update happens, and then it resets you in the next space at first floor. So you would only go from floor 21 to floor 30 if you want the incremental rewards. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at my phone here, seeing some traffic coming through on various Discord channels that I subscribe to. What is this? Okay, somebody posted a funny video I'm gonna have to go watch to our guild's Discord channel. Oh, jeez, I have no idea what this is, but it looks like it's gonna be hysterical. Yeah, and Andy here, Andy the Seventh. He's easy to play. I mean, you can just spam his 4 blue, 1 orange, and you don't have to. He doesn't have to move around. It's pretty much he has. It's going to hit. I believe it hits no matter where he is. Plus, he gets his. If you get him up to, he really starts to stand out when you get him up to like 5 star, which is where I have him. I don't have him at 6 star yet. So I've not made him a priority to invest, but his ultimate and his passive skills are actually quite interesting. He's like a hybrid of Haley and Gabriel. So when you get him to, I want to say when you get him to 5 stars, he gets the same benefit that Haley gets, where you can see he starts off with a shield. It's and that shield does not have a time expiration, so it'll stay there until it is depleted. And then what you do is that you save his ultimate until the shield runs out, and because his ultimate will be, and they may have nerfed this. I noticed that the graphics, the visuals have changed. When he first came out, if he had no shield left and he used his ultimate, the ultimate would give him his shield back. Plus the usual benefit you get of a temporary attack boost and stuff like that. It doesn't seem to behave that way anymore. So the developers might have nerfed it. Now when you fire off his ultimate, you get that temporary boost of damage output, but the shield doesn't necessarily come back. At least it doesn't render the blue shield bar. So I don't know if that's just a graphical glitch or if that was something that the developers deliberately did. Maybe they considered he was overpowered. When he first came out and I got him to 5 star, I'm like, he could be overpowered, a little bit for his role. But I also have a rule that, when I'm running a team, it's no boys allowed. Because you see these characters from their behind, so I don't like watching a boy, so that's why I run all girls normally. Yeah, call me a predator or whatever. I don't care. It's just a game. Oh, so I was talking about the costumes. So yeah, the costumes. Every character will have a costume that you can buy. Either with the costume shards that you can get from Spacecrack, or you can whale and shell out some real world money for it. Kind of the real world cost is kind of expensive considering the benefit that you get. So the benefit of the starting costume is just like a 2% attack buff. And I believe the cost is somewhere between $25 to $30 US. Kind of a bit expensive to pay for a 2%. Now, some of the characters, not all, but some have a second outfit. For example, Monica's swimsuit, Marl's swimsuit, and I think there's maybe a couple other characters. Oh yeah, all the characters that have like a beach theme costume will actually give better benefits. It gives you more attack percentage increase, and it also gives a defense increase, I believe. That one is, if you're going to spend real world money, that would be where I would invest. Granted, this is a whole debate about, do you spend real world money or do you play free? Obviously, in this game, you can completely play free. It's just it's a time sink. Now, I get asked from time to time in the comments, or also even in game chat, "Hey, Lysorn, do you spend real world money? Do you whale?" Full disclosure, number one, I never disclose actually what I do spend. I treat that as a personal thing. I do spend because in real life I am a software developer. So I work in the IT industry, and from time to time, and I'm a consultant, and from time to time I do write software, and so I know firsthand what goes into creating. I've never made a graphical game. I work more in the business arena, but I know what it takes to develop software, quality assurance, the rigorous testing, documentation. It's a pain in the ass, quite frankly. So because I see what goes into it, I do want to, if someone is entertaining me, I do want to give them a reward. So there was a period where I wasn't spending anything on this game, and then actually Clara came out, and I had a bunch of diamonds saved up, so that's I spent those to get her. But some people get offended when you say that you spend real world money on a game, on an online game. I actually got into it with just a random person in another game, in their forums. And I was asking a question about, hey, how do I limit break my character? Because I got another copy of the character, and I couldn't find the button. Oh, don't do this. It's a game. It was the game interface was in Japanese, so I was having a hard time, trying to find what button to hit, etc. And some person just came out of nowhere and just started attacking me on the forum and saying, "Oh, this is you're a terrible person because you spent real world cash on resources in this game." And it's like they made a comment along the lines of, "That's like the worst thing that a person could do." I'm like thinking, really? That's the worst thing that a person could do to support software that you're enjoying? Really? You want to rethink that? I have no problem with people playing for free. If the game developers provide that mechanic, and you don't want to invest in the game, and you want to play for free, do it. The developers made that available to you. I'm just of the opinion that there needs to be a certain percentage of the population, and I don't know what that is, but a certain percentage of the playing population needs to contribute in order to keep the game alive. Because it takes effort to create these games, and it takes effort to and resources to host the servers, and to keep them patched, and hire the voice actors to do all the voiceovers, hire the artists to do the characters that we like, translators to translate. And this, by the way, this Dawnbreak, I will say, one of the things that is done very poorly from an execution perspective in this game is the translation into English. It's almost comical how bad it is. you know, especially the side stories. The side stories are, I think the translations, you can kind of follow along. So, I mean, they put some effort into it, but it doesn't look professional. Some of the phrases and sentences just, it's like, what are you trying to say? I think I can follow, because there you go. So there's the little icon next to my name, saying that I'm now going to, on Monday, I'll be promoted to second space. So that's probably good enough for now. I think I'm going to probably go ahead and rein that in. Let's see. I apparently have some quests that I got to collect. What is this? Spacecraft reward. Okay. Well, they must have recently added that reward, because I've done this before, but this is the first time they're rewarding it for me. Okay. The final thing I need to do tonight is I need to spend my energy, because you can see that in the top center of my screen I have I've exceeded the maximum energy, and so it's not going to regenerate until I start spending it. So the easiest way for me to do it is I'll go into the adventure and I'll do like side story, and I'll go to the elite, start, and it'll go down. Well, actually, you know what I need to do? You go to the one at the very bottom that has the extra shards, and then you'll just do, if you have any experience or gold or item X2, you click those and you just do raid times 3. So provided that you've cleared it before in elite mode, then you can just quickly burn through your experience and get some extra shards. And I was a bonehead and I didn't click the XP times 2. There you go. Oops, I didn't mean to click all the way out of it. So for the raid, in elite mode, you get 3 tries every day. And they throw raid tickets at you like candy. So it's really easy to accumulate the raid tickets, because you get, I think that's the login bonus. Every day you get 10 free tickets. And you really only have to do 9, or 3 times 3, in order to get the quest benefit. So if you do 9 adventures, whether it's side story like you're seeing me do, or whether you do the main adventure. By the way, I have to check to see if I have any way to advance the story yet. No, not yet. That's another thing I don't like about the game from an execution perspective. They've been really slow at releasing new chapters to the story. So, we've pretty much, and they've also not rolled out any new side stories. So they're just recycling them. So when, so you can see here, what is this event? Countdown 0. What is this all about? So what they do is they just, they'll run this side story 3 for a while, then they'll revert back to like side story 1, and they're just right now just recycling old content that we've seen before already. which is fine for somebody who's new to the game and they've never seen it before. But this is probably, I think they've recycled this thing like about, I want to say at least 3 times. And I do like reading the stories. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and close this recording down because I'm pretty much out of things to do. Let me collect my quest. There you go. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed my random ramblings. Have a good night.